Good evening, and welcome to Of Dice and Them. You know the drill, we're a TTRPG actual play podcast. My name is Tuva, and I am your game master for this evening. Joining me is Rafe.
Hello. Yeah, as it's spelt, R-A-L-P-H, Rafe.
We also have Jacques.
Hello.
We've also got Bob.
Thank you. Glad to be here.
And we've got...
Go on. Yeah, there we go.
I got nothing.
Lao.
That's two different, I think.
But it's how it's spelt!
In what world?
L-O-U. Lao.
To be fair, as a school phonics leader, the OU sound is usually pronounced ow.
Get fucked, Tova.
Sorry.
Tuva.
Are you talking to Tuva?
Tova? I'm pretty sure when I first said your name, and I think I looked it up, and Tova was one of the most common thing. So I was trying to be all cool. I was like, oh, hi, Tova. And you were like, it's Tove. I was like, oh, all right, cool.
Well, like Tove Jansson, who's their author of the
Moomin's
Moomins,
author.
is spelt the same way.
Or Tuve Lo, who is a singer.
Tove Love.
Tove Love.
Does anyone remember where we were last time?
No!
Yes, but why don't you tell us?
Why don't we just get straight back into this? Out there in the gloom of the flooded district.
Too stressed. To be fair, this whole thing has given me like 4 stress. Me, not Tay. Me.
When would you like to flash back to, and for what reason?
Because it will push you into trauma if Tay does a flashback now.
I'd like to flash back to when we made the plan. What did we say?
Don't make plans in place in the dark, Bambi.
I genuinely have no recollection. Someone was like, "Oh, we're on a boat." I'm like, "Fucking are we? What? What are we doing?"
You're not currently in a boat.
What? That's the only thing we had. The only thing we had was the boat thing.
It's the only thing I remember is that we were on a boat.
No, there's a church.
What?
Oh, I thought it was a warehouse.
A tower. No, we were in the warehouse and we made it through the warehouse. We're out of the warehouse, then we made it, and there's a church with a
There was ghosts.
big tower.
Oh, there's a spiral staircase.
And then there was the then Randall saw Randall.
Hello, Tove. You look like you have something to say.
Do you?
Cue music. Out there in the gloom of the flooded district, we see a man with spindly limbs running his fingers over a scrimshaw trinket. Carved from bone with dark ichor set into the patterns snaking around the artifact, a wickedly sharp point draws a single drop of blood from the man's emaciated finger. He holds his finger out over the inky black waters below him, and we follow this drop of blood down into the cold, into the dark. Another drop of blood draws our attention, though. This one is forming on the throat of one Randall Reinard, where the tip of a dagger is currently pressing. Now, my beautiful friends, you're all going to answer a few questions for me, and your friend will be released unflayed. Yes?
Is that one of the questions?
Ooh, a clever one.
I've played this game before. You know, it's like, you have to make sure you only have 3 wishes. Are you a genie?
No, I am not a genie.
You have to say if you're a genie or it's entrapment.
Yeah, you're like the police.
I am most assuredly not a genie.
I do have some bad news. I don't think they really care about me that much.
Yeah, I was going to say friend is a very strong choice of words.
Yeah, I'm not sure. If you were to pick which one of the 4 of us to threaten in this scenario, I think you picked Paul.
I could kill him if you really wanted me to.
No.
No. No. Let's keep him.
Probably better.
Oh, well, maybe I underestimated their feelings for me. Thanks for that.
No, you were right, but just,
You're very welcome, young man. Now, who wants to tell me why magic doesn't work properly here?
Oh, a riddle. Well, we're not really magic, so...
What if it's one of those things like work, but it's like she means a different version of the word work, Like, doesn't work for me,
Like, work, queen.
Exactly.
No, I mean,
like
why can I not cast spells normally? We are on the mortal plane. You are all mortals, not some form of divine beings.
Well, I think that's an awful assumption to make about a woman.
That's why I'm asking, darling.
I mean,
We're not really like super like magic.
Smart. Yeah, we also, you threaten the wrong person and like you're asking the wrong people with regards to that.
We probably can't tell if magic doesn't work.
I mean, it's the ghosts, right? It's the ghosts.
There are lots of ghosts.
Oh my god. Gecko.
Ghosts, you
Gecko,
say?
shut up, succubus. So, what if...
Succubus! Succubus!
What if...
Please, darling.
Shh. What if we are magic, but we're in an anti-magic field, and as soon as we step outside it, we can, like...
Oh, be wizards and shit!
Stuff. Exactly!
Oh my god, yeah!
I see perhaps you have stumbled into somewhere you are not qualified to be.
Wouldn't be our first time, love.
But let me clarify one thing. I am not a succubus. Succubi are evil, conniving devils who use manipulation and sex to get what they want. And darling, I'm not a devil.
Oh, you're a demon?
Ooh, very good guess.
I know my hedonistic demons when I see one, to be fair.
Tay often uses sex to get what she wants to, so...
Yeah, I do.
Great minds. Maybe we can work together.
Well, it won't be the worst proposition I've had so far today.
This one mentioned ghosts. Now, she points towards a skeletal figure on the ground of this room. It's wearing wizard's robes and its limbs are splayed out in all directions, and it's obscuring part of what seems to be a summoning circle which fills the entire room. And she says, "This one's soul tasted like ash when I ate it. Why was that?" I see this one has a question.
Well, I was just wondering, actually, when you say skeletal figure, do you mean like a thin person or a skeleton?
Looks like a dude who has had the soul sucked out of him some time ago.
Okay. Well, I don't know what the souls usually taste like.
It doesn't appear as though souls are really passing on to any other sort of plane in the Undercity, so it's probably something to do with that.
I'd take it up with management.
Ghosts everywhere outside if you have a look. Have you left this tower at all? Maybe take a walk, look for yourself.
Unfortunately, you've hit on the crux of the matter. She points at the window leading out of the tower, which you were hoping to use to get across to the church.
Were
we? Yes, you were.
Okay.
And she points at the door that you all came in through. And at the foot of these passageways are lines of salt blocking the exits. Now, if one of you could perhaps disrupt that little inconvenience for me, we can all go on our separate ways, and we can pretend this never happened.
If you just let me go, I'd be more than happy to do it.
Seems like we're in a position of power in this here negotiation, whilst you might attack my dear friend.
I would disagree.
Randall, sure. So, even if you were to perhaps kill all four of us with your mighty demon powers, you would still be stuck in said room, because we are apparently apparently the game master has decided that the world, my world, adheres to the same rules as Supernatural, the hit TV show with Sam and Dean.
Oh,
So-
you know I love the CW.
So, I would just say even if we were to die and you were to kill us, you would still be stuck in said room. So I feel like we're in a position of power to bargain.
Agreed. I would simply have to torture one of you until you gave in.
I don't think that's possible, for we are formidable creatures. Now, let us get on to the matter at hand of what exactly you would do for us if we were to let you go, and what you would be meaning to do to other people if we were to let you go. After all, this is our city.
I hadn't expected you all to be quite so righteous.
No, me neither.
No, I mean, okay,
I'm having a weird day. It felt like I just woke up after several weeks' break, and I don't really know what's happening.
The deal really is that I don't kill you and you let me leave this room.
I feel like, I mean, that is a fairly good bargain. What would we be meaning to do with your newfound freedom if you were to get it?
Well, I would be delighted to learn how the rules of this new realm behave. I've managed to throw together a couple of illusion spells, and my strength, and she sort of rakes Randall's head back, all seem to be functioning, but my usual magics are not. So I would simply adore to learn why that is.
Could you just give us 1 second and, like, a huddle?
Of course. I'll even hold this one closer to you so that he can join in if he wants.
Thanks. I don't know, guys. She doesn't seem like a very nice person.
You think?
And her horns curl down to block her ears as if she's sticking her fingers in her ears. And she sort of makes a point of being like, la da da, not listening.
She's definitely still listening, right?
I mean, probably. I feel like we can probably get something out of this, right?
Well, that's what I was thinking. It felt like we had a position, but for some reason, Mr. Talkative, loosey-goosey Mr. Man over here is less talkative than usual.
Yeah, for
Probably
some
'cause of the
reason,
dagger.
probably because of the dagger at his throat. Yeah.
Well, he's had a dagger in his throat before, and he's been nothing but a asshole the entire time.
And the bruised ribs.
Well,
Oh, yeah, true. A couple of days ago, he did have consequences to his actions for the first time in his entire life, and I think it's been a bit of a shock to the system.
he is a changed man.
It feels like not making a deal with a devil is
It's a demon.
like,
Not a devil.
okay. It seems like not making a deal with a demon is like a 101, like playground stuff.
Right, Gecko. As far as I see it, these are our options. 1, we do nothing, demon kills us.
Wow. Well,
So-
demon kills Randall.
Sure, and then us.
Ah!
Yeah, we do nothing, Randall dies. Maybe the rest of us. Anyway. 2, we free demon, no additional qualifications. We all survive, demon free.
Qualifications.
3, we try to negotiate some extras out of the deal. Free demon, survive. Nice little bonus each.
What do we want?
What do we always want? Money and women.
I don't really want any women, actually.
Well, more the merrier for me.
How are we doing? Have we come
Could
to
we
an
have a little bit
arrangement?
more time, please?
Oh, if you must.
I just really want to make sure that we stretch out this episode for as long as possible, and that means I have more time to prepare before I have to come back and DM and
Very good. As good a reason as any, of course.
I reckon we'll go for option 3, please, Miss Succubus lady, demon person.
Not a
sorry.
succubus.
Well, whatever you are.
Not that I am listening.
What was option 3?
Option 3 was we let her go, but she gives us something in return, more than just not killing us.
Ah, yes.
And what could I possibly have to offer you for?
One thing each, right?
I'd just like to say, if I'm getting one thing, I guess it has to be my freedom, right?
That's the basic part of the deal. That's happening.
I was thinking...
And I get something else. Oh, well, this way.
Because I'm pretty sure at the beginning she said she was a genie. So I think we get a wish.
Not a genie, darling.
You're not a genie? What do you do?
What do you mean, what do I do? I'm an
what do you
all-powerful
bring to the
infernal
table?
being. Anything you want, my
Like a
darling.
genie! That's what I'm saying. If you bring anything I want to the table, you might as well be a genie.
Randall, you feel her grip sort of like tighten a little bit. And her grip was already iron.
Just understands, like, just turns and goes, yes, I quite agree, often happens to me.
If someone could remind other people that aren't me what it is that we're doing here, then maybe we could ask for her help.
There's a crate of weapons, isn't there?
There is a cache, you think, of magical items in the church, which is the next building over.
We would like you to throw us over into the church, unharmed, with some sort of your magical spells on us to help us in our journey moving forward. Then we will disrupt your salty barrier.
Didn't have magical powers. It's been disrupted.
Well, she said she had some magical powers, like the illusion and whatnot.
With the salt disrupted, I could be able to draw a little more energy from my home.
Oh, I don't like the sound of that. That sounds kind of like we'd have to trust you to do it after we freed you. I'm not sure.
Oh, you can trust me, darling. I am not capable of reneging on a deal.
Do you want to try that one again? Reneging?
Is that not how you pronounce that word?
It is
I believe
not.
it's reneging, but you might want to cut that just because it's quite close to something else as well.
How should I say it?
Reneging.
Reneging?
Yeah.
I'm not capable of going back on my word.
What about a competition?
I like the way your mind works.
I'll sing a song.
Randall plays a mean fiddle.
Now, let's think about this. I think we've got off on a really, really poor footing. You know, we can't trust you. You're holding a knife to my throat, which isn't really great for anyone here at all, I think.
I don't
Because exactly, see? You haven't got the leverage you think you've got. But we are in to good, fair competition, aren't we? Aren't we, gang?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If there's some sort of game that we could engage in, and then the winner of the game takes all.
Like, who can take the most drugs?
That's a good game.
Traditionally, darling, games against my sort don't end well for your sort. But if you want to bet your soul on a game of chess, we can have a go.
Chess. Anyone here any good at chess?
No.
I am an expert chess player because I would like to play Tove at chess for the next 4 to 5 minutes. That's all
As
you
much as
want.
that sounds like excellent audio content.
Pawn to A4.
No, maybe not a game. Anyway, listen. There's a cache of weapons
that.
over there.
Mm-hmm.
You let me go. I'll get the cache of weapons.
What?
And I'll bring them back, and I will give you a weapon.
What?
And I will disrupt the salt for you.
What?
How's that sound?
What? How is that?
Do I need to roll or sway? I just don't. I really don't want. I think Randall doesn't want the knife to his throat. He doesn't really
No,
care.
but why are you offering more things? We're trying to get more from her. She just wants us to disrupt it and she'll let us go. You're offering to go and get her more things solo on your own.
Scoundrel.
Scoundrel? That's stupid. That's idiotic. Scoundrel?
What role do I need? Was that sway, consort?
Idiocy.
So, I would say it this
Flashback.
way. I think we
shoot
should agree.
Randall in the head.
We would need to agree what you are actually trying to achieve with this role.
Yes, please,
So that I can
figure
tell you
out
how
what you're trying to
impossible
achieve in
it's
this
gonna
role.
Trying to achieve being released and like
She
make
was
a fair
offering to
deal.
release you to just move the salt.
Yeah,
That's-
but it's moving too slowly. And all of Tay's talking, like the gripping on the hair, it's not filling Randall full of confidence. The more Tay talks, the more danger Randall feels in. So
just disrupt the salt and we can leave. That's the base offer. You don't have to do more than that.
No, it doesn't trust the offer. Trust what happens when the salt gets disrupted. If Randall gets his throat slit.
That's smart.
That's actually his belief.
I'm with you.
So it's trying to achieve being released in like some sort of fair exchange. Like the belief will be that there's a fair exchange. Randall uphold his doesn't
I
think
retract
that,
most of my yelling.
Doesn't know Randall. Doesn't know that he's a scallywag and a scoundrel. Might believe him.
I think based on that, the sort of rules of Blades sort of say that you are in on what will happen regarding what happens with the role. So I think you don't have to tell her you'll go and get her something.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I was like, I was trying to give extra information to try and like maybe pique her interest even more in that Randall's like really shitting himself, just giving up what they're here for, like not holding anything close, is just like really wants to get released and is like totally
yeah, I just think
could have lied. I just didn't think of one at the time.
I think any agreement that you come to her which involves you breaking the salt, she would probably just agree with. You don't have to if you just say that, that's fine. She'll agree,
yeah.
Because she'll have 3 other hostages in exchange for you going away for a little bit.
True, excellent. Do I need to roll?
So we'll assume you've explained that to her and says, so you will go away. I'll take these 3 as hostages. And then you break the salt when you come back?
This sounds like we're in a worse position than when we started, except for Randall.
I don't want to disagree with it. It just seems very cold-blooded of you, darling.
Tay just walks over and breaks the salt. I'm done. Boom.
No, don't do it already.
She immediately releases Randall. She says, thank you, darling. I knew one of you would be reasonable. And she sachets over to the window and sticks her hand out into the night air. And she looks ecstatic that she's able to do this.
Randall runs behind Tay.
And she steps up onto the windowsill, turns to look at you all and says, thank you again, darlings. And she falls backwards in a swan dive and turns to ash in the air, which blows away on the wind.
That's definitely not going to have long-lasting consequences for the world, Varen.
I want to learn how to do that.
Well, maybe you can. Why don't you try? Have you ever tried jumping out of a window backwards? Turning in ash?
No.
I'm not going to stop you.
I might.
Is there anything you'd like to do in this wizard's tower before embarking towards the church?
Is there anything magic in it?
Yeah, there's sort of random trinkets which you reckon you could probably sell for some coin.
They're books and things. Their bookshelf
Yeah, there's certainly a big book open on the desk nearby which is concerned with the summoning of demons and devils. It's turned to a page with some pretty salacious drawings of succubi and summoners engaged in coitus.
I suppose have a little bit of a rifle through there, see if I can find out anything about this horror that we've unleashed upon the world. The unsuspecting Undercity.
Do you want to do an attune, gather information?
Ooh. Yes, I would love to do that, and am equipped to do that.
Is it not just study, reading a book?
Could be study.
We get extra for gathering information because of our lair.
Yeah, you do, the informants. You remember something that Cellular Windows said to you once about demons?
If you want to roll study, Randall can assist.
Yeah, I've got a point in study, so
Just appear over the shoulder then. So may as well do a group action if you're willing to.
Mostly attracted by the pictures, presumably.
So you would be helping, which is 1 stress, and Ralph gets an extra die. You don't have to roll.
An extra die, you say?
So just 10 stress, provide the help.
I think it's 1 stress.
1 stress to read a book.
Heart beating faster at the drawings.
To help read a book.
Well, Kuza was completely distracted and rolled a 1, but then with Randall's help, Randall happened to point to a particularly salacious image, which guided Kuza into exactly the right phrase that he needed to see, because he rolled a 6.
Ooh. So you can ascertain that this summoner, sorcerer, warlock, wizard, or whatever, seemed to be some kind of recluse who lived by himself in this very dangerous district. And he seemed to have been trying to summon a girlfriend of some kind, but managed to summon something much more dangerous. The fact that she identified herself as
more dangerous than a girlfriend.
Much more dangerous than a girlfriend. You believe from, I don't know, maybe something one of your informants once mentioned, guided you also reading that passage, that there's no reason to believe that she isn't a demon, which is a slightly higher tier of devil. So he definitely got more than he was bargaining for. And she could probably have just stepped into this realm whenever she wanted, but now that the place has piqued her interest a little bit, she is likely to sort of hang around. And may have nefarious aims in mind.
Yeah, maybe the demon has nefarious aims. I mean, we'll have to wait and see.
Randall wants to take some of the salt.
You take a little bag of salt.
Is it magic salt?
Nope, ordinary salt. It really fucking hurts your nose.
Blows out.
It'll be good with tequila.
Yeah, it would be good with tequila. Maybe it's a little bit spicy because it's been used for magic. Like every time the demon tried to cross it,
particularly good for tequila.
Yeah. Take notes, Jack. This will come up in the main campaign.
Peri salt. Spice.
Infernal salt.
Spicy. Jesus Christ. I think this whole everything is canon thing is really going to come back to bite us in the ass, isn't it? Bite me in the ass.
Well, you as DM wouldn't have to mention any of it.
Just make sure you never have us fight devils or demons, and none of this has to be mentioned again.
Now that they can be very easily trapped by a salt circle.
Where there's no magic.
Yeah, magic's
Sarah.
funky here.
Yeah.
The rules are different. It's all different in the Undercity, baby.
Heading to the church?
Sure.
Now, Tay, I'm not really sure why you just broke the salt circle. I feel like that might have been a very stupid idea, and I just want you to know that I was just negotiating my exit so that I would be free, and then we could all just split.
I thought you were negotiating poorly, and it was
it
taking
was a
far
stupid
too long.
idea, because we could have got something extra out of that.
Yeah. Well,
But I think she was going to let me go.
Well-
And that really is a great outcome.
Well, I thought we were going to bargain for extra, and you seem to be bargaining for a negative, and so I thought I'd better cut our losses and just get on with the fucking thing that the GM has prepared, which was none of this. This was meant to be like a 10 second thing at the beginning, and move on.
And now you've released a demon.
Well, that is, well, I mean, you were going to release a demon too.
Was I? Do I not
never
lie?
know.
Do I not lie? Is that not something I do?
What were you
Does
going to
lie,
do?
you little shitbag.
What was your plan? No, go ahead. Tell us your plan. How, by you leaving and the three of us being held hostage by the demon, how is that going to help us?
It's going to help me.
You having this loud conversation in open...
Yes,
in an open area?
absolutely. If he's challenging me like this, I would absolutely turn around and say, what the fuck are you talking about?
You remember that detection clock I drew last session?
Tay's got a raised voice unless otherwise stated.
Yes. Very, very similar to Jack, actually, to be fair.
The plan was to get free, and then after that, make everything up as I went along. Obviously. But if
Yes.
I was free, that gave us more leverage.
No! No! I think that sounds like an awful plan, which is why I took matters into my own hands and just
Shall we all
carried
just
on.
agree we all would have approached it differently? It happened as it happened. Let's get the job done.
Kuza, marriage counsellor.
Onwards and upwards.
You cross a rickety wooden bridge which has been built between the Wizard Tower and the spire of the church.
I don't like bridges. Is it high up? Tay
Very
doesn't
high
like
up.
heights.
Sorry, Tay.
Tay jumps into Kuza's arms. They
Kuza
fall
breaks
to their
into
death.
1,000 pieces like a glass goblin.
You cross this bridge into the spire of the church and make your way down the spire. This is a pre-war church, creaky and abandoned, and it's showing signs of collapse as the waters lap against it. You make your way down into the nave. A stained glass window overlooking you depicts the god Huron as a fatherly figure, giving life and protection to the people of Erin as a shepherd would to his flock. But, in the darkness and grime, along with your memories of the war, the depiction looks just as much like a farmer leading cattle to an abattoir. Behind the altar, a fat black tentacle envelops the architecture of the church. It has wrapped itself around the altar in front of you, snaking down the path ahead and into the abyssal waters. It's blocking a door which you believe leads to the area Lorenzo marked on your map.
A tentacle.
A tentacle, yes. A gribbly tentacle, you could
Is
perhaps.
it connected to anything?
It snakes down into the water.
Is it pulsating?
I could say there's an element of
So it's a
pulsation there.
living, black, massive tentacle that is snaking out of the water and then wrapping itself around the altar.
Yes. And on the altar is a scrimshaw trinket which is humming slightly. The tentacle is currently blocking your access to this door where you suspect the cache is.
Oh, there was a scrimshaw trinket in the prologue. I remember.
It also looks a bit like the... You remember when you first came to the flooded district, there were two blokes who shot arrows at you and
Yep.
Tay scared off. They were wearing sort of scraggly black leather robes and also had scrimshaw trinkets around their necks.
Wait, is this like a cult? Or is this like scrimshaw trinkets protect you from the ghosts and so we should be wearing them too?
Oh, there's some shenanigans going on here.
Like to creep a little bit closer, trying to not make any vibrations that might attract a tentacular attention. And I'd like to have a look at this. Not touch. Simply look with my eyes
With your eyes.
at this scrimshaw. See if there's anything in the patterns, or is it a picture? You know, what sort of thing does this depict? Is there anything I can intuit from the patterns or images on the scrimshaw?
That's a very good question. So the tentacle doesn't seem to be interested in you as you approach, assuming you haven't touched
Tay
it.
is
or
very
anything.
interested in the tentacle. Tay kind of has a thing for tentacles. Just FYI.
Great. We'll come back to that. Never. And the trinket.
Go on, Toph.
It is depicting a heart surrounded by tentacles. You could perhaps do something to find out more what that might mean, if Kuza has any kind of potential knowledge there.
Do you have either knowledge about tentacles or hearts, Kuza?
I've got knowledge about attempting to make contact with dark and powerful entities.
Well, why don't you lean on said knowledge and tell us from whence and what this tentacle beastie might be?
I am going to take a scrap of I'm going to tear a strip of fabric off the bottom of my coat. I'm going to wrap that around my eyes.
Ooh.
And I am going to reach out and grab the scrimshaw.
Roll a dice to make sure you grab the scrimshaw and not just the tentacle, because you're blind.
And I'm going to try and use that same technique that I use to attempt to reach out to my deity. I'm going to see if I can make contact with something. To some end.
As your fingertips get closer and closer to the trinket, you have this mental image of the tentacle unwrapping from around the altar and instead wrapping around your arm, which is holding the trinket.
Do we actually physically see that or not?
Not yet.
That's reassuring.
So it's like a premonition. You get a premonition that if you were to pick up the trinket, the tentacle would react unfavorably.
Not necessarily maliciously.
So do I from this, do I intuit an intelligence in that it does not like that being messed with and will intercede, or is it an instinctive, animalistic, wherever the thing is, it goes?
I'm going to say the latter. It will go to where the trinket is.
Take it and run.
Okay. I can outrun a tentacle. Unblindfold.
What did your blindfolded eyes see, Kuza?
It seems to want this thing here. So if we move this thing, that tentacle's going to get out of the way.
Well, what do we suppose the tentacle is connected to? Is it just a tentacle?
No big octopus.
Well, that's the assumption, right? Some nasty kind of kraken beastie.
Gecko's gather information before coming to the flooded district was that there was something in the water that was attracted to magical items.
What about... So, wait, hang on. The tentacle is blocking the door, or blocking the way to where we need to go. So why not pick up the thing and just move it away and we can go through the door, and then later on you can throw the trinket and the tentacle will go. So Kuza, you pick up the trinket and babysit the tentacle. The rest of us will go down and fetch back the cache of whatever it is and come back and we'll get you an arm.
Have I got a trusty 10-foot pole?
I mean, you've got a heavy load, mate. You've got whatever you fucking want to have. Although, to be fair, a 10-foot pole is quite...
Telescopic. It screws together. It's in the burglary kit.
Like a pool cue. A 10-foot pole was like the D&D first edition mainstay, right? Like everyone had one of those because it's insanely powerful.
Kit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, casting my eyes about, do I see some sort of long bit of wood, something that I can just sort of hoik it?
There isn't anything. There is actually no long pieces of wood in Aaron.
I think I would be hard pressed to argue there isn't just a bit of wood in this dilapidated church.
Oh,
so, yeah, you could probably find a bit of wood.
Destroyed with facts and logic. I mean, yeah, I tried to just like
hoik the.
Is it a fling?
Well, what the rest of you lot doing, just out of interest?
Randall's sitting on a fallen rock, breathing heavily.
Yeah, Tay's fallen asleep in the corner.
Entertainment.
Does Tay sleep standing up?
The
horse bit's standing up, but the human bit is just kind of slumped.
Just
She can't sleep standing up because then she doesn't get REM sleep.
Do centaurs need REM sleep?
Oh god. No, we cannot have the
The
world
human part
intersecting
does.
science versus fiction.
Okay, so you, scientific term, hoik the scrimshaw trinket off of the altar.
When you say hoik, what are you actually doing? Are you like trying to lever it off and move it, or are you trying to like punt it somewhere else?
I'm trying to punt it sort of to the opposite side of the room.
So you're just like twatting it like a baseball bat.
Yeah. I'm putting it to an area that we can reach it should we have need of it again. Not like into the water.
But you're certain it's not going to break, and then that will anger the tentacle monster.
Yeah. Well, it's scrimshaw. It's like a big tooth
Bit
thing, right?
bonus.
What? People keep saying this word. What the fuck is scrimshaw? What does that mean?
You've had all this time to Google.
It's like traditionally whale bone, which has been carved and inked.
Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
almost
know
like
it was a
tattooed
real
bone.
thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Give it a Google, they're cool.
Yeah, it's very cool.
As you hoik it, time seems to slow down as it's in midair, and you see the tentacle ripple and lash out towards it. And it seems to be able to tell that you are the one who moved it as it lashes out towards you.
Oh no.
The rest of us leave Kuza.
Throwing daggers.
Why?
Harpoon.
Harpoon.
We're going whaling, kids.
I shoot a harp. Can I shoot a harpoon?
Tay's asleep.
True, I am asleep because Ralph took so long to come up with this bit.
No, I mean, yeah, Tay could harpoon it.
I mean, I feel like it's a very harpoony kind of moment. I feel like whilst Kuza's doing that, Tay is definitely just standing there with the harpoon ready.
I'll give Kuza first refusal.
I was gonna roll to the side and use a crossbow. Harpoon sounds like it.
Roll to the side and use a crossbow. Sorry,
Like a hand crossbow.
use a crossbow. Where was the crossbow when you were punting a scrimshaw thing across the room with a piece?
Oh yeah, you're right. I should have shot a crossbow at it. That would have been
No,
better.
I'm saying literally, where is the crossbow that's suddenly ready in your hand?
Have you played Blades in the Dark before?
What do you mean?
Obviously
It was in
not.
my fucking pack.
We don't have to talk about equipping it. We don't have to talk about any of that. That's all irrelevant.
Just got it whenever you need it.
I want to just use it, and that happens. So yeah.
It would
Where
be
did
rude.
the harpoon come from?
I was standing there with it ready whilst you.
As soon as
undid
it
the
started
thing.
moving. Yeah, but you didn't ready it before, did you?
Sorry. I'm sorry, Jack. My emotions got the better of me there. I shouldn't have reacted the way I did.
Of course you've played Blades in the Dark before.
I know, because on several of those occasions, I've played Blades in the Dark with you.
I would like to roll a skirmish roll and shoot
Okay.
the tentacle with a harpoon.
What is your aim here?
My aim is first to distract away from it lashing out at Kuza. Secondly, hopefully to fix it somewhere where it's out of the way. You know, just like against the wall or something.
I think that
Oh shit! Are you playing the game properly? You're going to figure out.
you
that
should
this is desperate
choose which of those you're going for.
action.
And that will, like, trying to pin it to the wall would be desperate. Just trying to distract it so it goes for you or the trinket instead of Kuza would be risky.
Priority would be protecting Kuza, I think. So we'll go for that.
Okay, we're going to go risky and standard. Anyone want to help?
I don't think anyone can they?
Kuza could.
Yeah, if I try and evade in such a way that the tentacle coming for me is going to line itself up in a nice way that's easy to hit.
Yeah, give me that skirmish with an extra dice from Kuza.
I rolled a 1, a 6, and a 6.
Ooh, go with the 6s, I reckon.
Critical, baby! I will say you do pin it, and it is currently squirming against the wooden walls of the church, and the way forwards is clear now, but you don't know necessarily how long it will be pinned.
There she blows!
Fucking leg it.
Call me Ishmael.
Alright, you're Ishmael.
From the famous Iranian text, Doby Mick.
I'm so going to create a character called Doby Mick. Or the next pirate you encounter will be called Doby Mick. Arr! They've been travelling these seas. Trying to shoot a black shark.
Randall shuffles through.
Yep, so you can squeeze past the abyssal water and the tentacle into the final room in this church. The scene in front of you is one of a fight that took place over a year ago. There are 2 corpses on the floor, They are dressed in the uniform of Jenny's girls. There are overturned tables. There is an open chest and a closed chest. These are white ceramic with details of green vines creeping up over them. One sealed, one open. The corpses, one of them has a nice-looking dagger in its back, and the other one looks like its head has been caved in.
White ceramic with green vines, huh?
I did clear this with you.
Did you? A likely story. That's sentinel gear, that is. Oily contraband.
The corpses, are they, as far as we can see, did it in for each other, or were they...
They're not near each other.
One stabbed in the back, right?
The one with the knife in the back is near to the open chest, and the one with the head
You don't really get a
in,
knife in the back and then cave someone's head in.
That one is a bit further away, next to an
Seems
overturned
like
table.
Seems like he opened the chest, got stabbed in the back, and then someone else went into the chest.
Both Jenny's girls?
Both of them Jenny's girls.
Hey pulls out her smartphone and takes a picture for Jenny. Jenny will want to hear about this, I'm sure.
Open the other chest, right?
It is
Whatever's
locked.
worth taking in the open one has already been taken.
Well,
It's locked.
I mean...
Ah.
Shit. Well, we tried. Because Jenny said that she'd sent people in and they hadn't returned, right?
Maybe this is those people.
No!
Actually,
No.
you know from Lorenzo that Jenny came into the flooded district and did return.
Did she kill her own people?
The items, do they look like items from outside? I don't know if that was explained and I just didn't listen.
Which item?
Oh, the
dagger.
Does it look like a fancy magic dagger?
Does it look like it came from here, or it could have come from outside?
Oh, it looks nice by undercity standards, not nice by overcity standards. So it probably came from outside the flooded district.
Can I try and open the chest?
Yes, Gecko can try and open the chest.
I feel like the Gecko's only really good at like a couple of things. It's like sneaking about and lockpicking and doing stuff, seems like.
As you investigate this chest, you can tell that it's a very good lock on it. It's a little bit better than you would easily be able to open with your tier of lockpicks. So attempting to open it would mean that the effect would be lowered. So this might take more than one roll to get open.
Just unlock it less good.
Yes, so consequences of failing a roll, or in fact succeeding a roll here with the limited effect, will be that time advances.
Alright. Cover me, lads. I've got fine lockpicks.
They're fine.
And that don't count for my load as well.
The fine lockpicks take you from no effect to limited.
And I'd do a finesse roll?
You can tell me which you want to use. You can
I mean,
wreck it open if you really want it.
I mean, it seems like finesse is probably the way of going.
I think so too.
I got a 3 and a 5.
So we'll say with a 5, if there was a clock for this lock, had 4 slices, you filled in 3 of them.
A lock clock, please.
A lock clock. The lock clock now has 3 out of 4 slices. 5 means a mixed success, so you're very aware as you are opening this that the tentacle is making a racket out there, and the detection clock is going to fill in 3, so 3 of 8 there.
Can any of y'all do anything to either keep the fucking tentacle away or cover me?
I mean, it's harpooned to the wall, so we've got a bit of time.
For now, it's less that the tentacle is getting free and more that it's making a racket.
Someone go and clamp their hand over the tentacle's mouth. Should I go again?
I would be rolling again if I was in your place as a player. Unless anyone else has any bright ideas.
Can't really think of a way of silencing the giant tentacle.
Cast silence on the area.
With all of that magic that you have.
A desperate attune roll to pull a spell in that you've never cast before from
Or
outside.
or the mundane way of doing it. Shh.
You shush the tentacle. No effect.
Yeah. Damn! Well, I'm out of ideas.
5 and a 6.
The chest springs open. Inside seems to be a magical item. It is a cylindrical device with a wooden handle on the bottom. The cylinder is hollow, and at one end it has some kind of mount for something. The cylinder is encrusted in gems, and it seems to have a sight on top of the cylinder. There's also a trigger on the handle.
The picture I just painted in my head makes absolutely no logical sense.
Which means either Tove is doing a brilliant job or an awful job, and there's no way of telling the difference.
It's a gun made of crystals.
I'll pick it up.
Yeah, it's fairly weighty. It feels nice in your hand. You feel like you could aim it at someone and pull the trigger and something might happen, but you don't feel any kind of strong magic coming off it at the moment. It looks like something might be missing from it.
Something like a scrimshaw pendant.
It's orb-shaped, this mount.
Like a power orb.
Like an arcane core or something.
Like an arcane core, yes, that's it.
So when you pick it up, you notice there's a degraded piece of parchment at the bottom of the chest, which looks like it has some faded instructions on it that you can't read anymore. But the title calls it the Soul Ripper.
Oh.
like what that with a... Oh no, because that was the demon.
No, that was the non-succubus.
Yeah, oh shit.
No, his soul was sucked, not ripped.
The Soul Ripper, baby!
Is that the sound it makes when it works?
Ooh!
You made the noise that's in my head.
Or is it just a vacuum cleaner? Ooh.
Gecko's gonna do just go, and then just kind of do some poses, practicing putting it in different directions.
Could you describe these poses?
Yeah. She kind of puts her armor and puts one over her arm. She goes fully two-handed forward. Does.
I'm imagining Gecko doing Bond girl impressions.
Yeah. This is that, and
Well, it sounds more like Charlie's Angels.
yeah, she's just posing with a fun sparkly gun.
Did I say the other box was empty?
You did.
No, I assumed the other box was empty.
It was open.
Yes. You can't see inside it from where you're standing.
I checked.
In the other box is another faded piece of parchment. No magical item in this one.
I pick up the parchment.
This parchment describes the item that was once held inside this box as Heartseeker. And you can piece together a few bits of the instructions which would suggest it was a bracer that can be worn and detects nearby heartbeats.
Fucking hell.
Did we notice any casting of memories back? Jenny wearing any sort of bracer?
Okay, so this is to cover some bullshit that Lou gave me in the first session when Jenny and Tay and Randall were on the veranda, and Jenny pointed out that there were people hiding in the bushes, and Lou gave me a dirty look why did you pull that? They don't know I'm here. Gecko suspects that is how Jenny knew you were in the bushes that one time.
Listen, what you need to understand is there are two types of GMs. There is the GM, which is like me, which is I don't know what's going on at any moment of time, and I'll come up with cool stuff and forget it. And then there is the spiteful GM that's like, all right, well, there is a reason, you little prick, but I can't tell you yet. It won't be revealed until episode.
Let me tell you in 8 episodes' time some sort of obscure thing which makes this possible.
And I'm going to rub it in your fucking face.
And Gecko has the fucking equations in the air as she realises that's how Jenny knew we were in the bushes.
Fuck!
Jenny killed her own girls.
I didn't say that.
No, she went.
Well, her girls are dead.
But she sent her girls in to get
All my girls
dead. The other bits that then they couldn't get them. They died.
Do we
in
know
the
that they
attempt.
100% went in at the same time? Yeah.
No, we don't know that, but it's... Why would Jenny have got all this way, retrieved one artifact and not retrieved the other?
Because she wasn't as good, didn't have the skills.
Too
I
much
think-
magic concentrated in one journey.
No,
would attract
I
the
think
tentacle.
opened it up, then they tried to seize the power for themselves, which is why Jenny stabbed them in the back. Then she picked up the razor and bashed. What?
I
Why are you
shouldn't laugh
laughing?
because I know what happened.
So Jenny got the thing out of the chest, and then the two people that were with her were like, "We're going to take that for us," and so she stabbed one of them in the back.
No. First person opens the chest, tries to get the thing for themselves. Jenny stabs them in the back. Then the next person's like, "Why'd you do that?" And she brains the poor fucker.
Not unreasonable.
Thank you. It is not unreasonable, you fucks.
That series of events could have taken place.
Yes.
Does it seem like the Jenny that we know?
No,
that
but-
she seems a little bit more.
Yeah,
Maybe
together.
she's got a dark streak though.
Yeah. It's a
You
bit
don't know.
weird that she's wearing it. Like, why didn't she tell us about any of this if she was here?
She was being pretty cagey when people asked her about it. It's only because someone rolled really well. She talks
She's like, she
anything
doesn't
at
want to talk
all.
about it. Oh, yeah. Don't want to talk about it. Like, she was haunted because she fucking murdered two of her own girls.
Yeah, but why did Lorenzo send us and not Jenny?
Because Jenny wouldn't have sent
Sorry,
us. Because
Who's having this conversation?
Because Jenny wouldn't have sent us to the side of her own fucking betrayal of her girls. Lorenzo knew about this place and thought it was worth exploring. Jenny would have never sent us back because that might uncover her betrayal of her own girls. I feel like there's enough evidence. I've taken lots of photos on my Motorola Razr, and I will go back and confront Jenny and then take over as lead of Jenny's girls, which I will name to Tay's girl.
How original.
Perhaps she knew it was impossible to take both items at once,
So she killed
and the
her
danger wasn't worth it. Or maybe because it doesn't have the power core in it, and she thinks it doesn't work, so she left it here and then relocked the chest.
Gecko, can you stop pointing that thing at my face, please?
And yes,
Gecko's now putting
So
it between her legs, just sort of like.
Just looking at the end.
I think we should leave with this item, and I don't think we should leave the way that we came.
What other way is there?
The other way. There was. We were given two options by the mystery voice in the sky when we came here.
I don't believe that was correct. Because let me tell you why. If there had been another way, we wouldn't have encountered this nice tentacle scrimshaw dealie, which was definitely what the nice person in the sky wanted us to do. So I believe we just go back to the tentacle.
Well, I'll tell you, you're really strong. What happens if you just punch a hole in the wall?
I punch the wall.
Hole in the wall! Punch a hole in the wall!
I
I
punch a
have
hole-
an idea!
I punch a hole in the wall. I use wreck. I roll one dice. I have rolled a 1.
Okay, so the church crumbles around you and it begins to sink into the abyssal waters. The tentacle breaks free and you hear a howling in the distance, and you realise that with that one, your detection clock has filled and it's time to leave quickly. Thanks for listening to Of Dice and Them. If you enjoyed this episode, we'd love to hear from you. Please leave a review on your favourite podcasting platform and subscribe to be notified as soon as new episodes drop. In the meantime, give us a follow at Of Dice and Them on social media, where you can also find out how to follow our cast. And we'll see you next time. Stop rolling your fucking dice. Put them down. I say that because I've literally just edited a bit where, Ralph, you were rolling dice for a good 2 minutes while me and Jack were talking about something.
I got to get them nice and warmed up or they don't work for me.
They ever work for you?
I don't roll them for long enough.